YouTube very recently made an update stating that they are no longer okay with people making fun of other people's protected attributes.
And this morning, it seems that we saw it hit one of the more massive creators on the platform, Ian Carter, aka IDubbbz, who ended up tweeting out a screenshot of an email from YouTube saying that one of his videos had been removed for violating community guidelines.
They are making a statement here. They're making a statement.
The next party is the YouTube is over party. Very exciting.
Welcome to Psych IRL. My name is Donna. All right, you guys have been commenting and asking me to react and critique YouTube's new policy that affects not only commentary and drama channels, but way more than that. And we see its flaws in the removal of IDubbbz's content cop on Leafy. And we're gonna be talking about a video that was removed, so I don't know if this video is gonna be monetized or not, but just in case, we have a sponsor. Audible. Start listening with a 30-day Audible trial absolutely free. Choose one audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Text PsychIRL to 500-500 or go to audible.com/PsychIRL. So what is it about this new YouTube policy that has everyone seemingly scared? Let's look over it really fast right now. I'll link it down below if you want to read it for yourself, but we're just going to go through bullet points. So the first thing they say is that they want a stronger stance against threats and personal attacks. We will no longer allow content that maliciously insults someone based on protected attributes such as race, gender expression, or sexual orientation. This applies to everyone from private individuals to YouTube creators to public officials. The next bullet point is consequences for a pattern of harassing behavior. So it looks like if you make multiple videos on someone, it can be considered harassment. Sorry to all those people who made Nisian videos. Addressing toxic comments is another bullet point, and they just say that they're going to add a variety of tools to help creators filter through those comments a little bit better. To be honest, some of this sounds like the same kind of stuff, except maybe for this consequence for a pattern of harassing behavior. But other than that, the stronger stance against threats and personal attacks point, it sounds like the same kind of stuff as before, but obviously there was some kind of change since the algorithm has chosen to remove some videos that are beloved. And though this policy seems like it's in good faith, you obviously have some flaws because there is a removal of IDubbbz's content cop on Leafy. We can say for sure that something in the algorithm must have changed in order for these videos to be automatically removed. What that is, of course, YouTube won't tell us. The cause could be a range of things, from the number of flags or some repeated keyword in the comments. The reasoning for withholding this knowledge is that knowing specific criteria videos are automatically removed allows bad actors to game the system. Let's pretend that reasoning is fair. The creator with their video removed can then appeal to have their video brought back. See, there's a major flaw in that system. Whoever watches the video and has to make the decision on whether or not the video is removed has to be knowledgeable on not just the sole video, but the whole channel, and even the whole genre.
It's all like judgment calls.
Right.
There's no judge, jury, or trial that actually takes place. It's moderators and things like that. That's where like I just start scratching my head. It doesn't make sense. How are they possibly supposed to keep up with the amount of content that's flooding that platform?
These fatal flaws in YouTube's new policy is seen in the removal of Ian's content cop on Leafy. Judging a video as a standalone piece of work can lead to missing context. In the IDubbbz content cop on Leafy, Ian is saying bullying is okay.
Straight off the bat, I want to let all the newcomers to my channel know that I'm perfectly fine with bullying.
He's making fun of Leafy's appearance. That alone sounds bad, but there's some missing context. The video opens up in a comedic nature. There's a police officer who's clearly not doing his police officer duties on screen. The individual reviewing the appeal should expect the tone of this video to be comedic in nature moving forward. Where it can get confusing for the reviewer is when Ian switches to what seems like a more standard YouTube critique video. The individual is speaking to the camera, giving their criticisms. They may add supporting evidence to their claims and so forth. When Ian moves on to the critique of Leafy missing a chin, it can come off serious to someone who is unfamiliar with Ian's work. This is where the first flaw to YouTube's new policy can be seen. If the reviewer were judging this on just this video, on the surface, it may fall categorically under bullying, making the removal valid. A lot of videos fall into this trap.
And this is what I mean by the nuance. Is it's like there's such a spectrum. How are you supposed to enforce that?
I think some of the biggest videos that fall into this trap are ARGs.
Alternate reality
game? An interactive game played over social media sites like a digital scavenger hunt, oftentimes involving puzzle solving using hidden codes in messages. A game? That isn't a game. That is real. That is Dad.
In the scheme of YouTube, the basics of an ARG is that it's a fictional piece of work that is in an alternate universe on YouTube, and the viewer is trying to figure out the mystery of this channel. And a channel where you might not know that it's an ARG is McJuggerNuggets Psycho series.
For those who don't know, it's one of the biggest shows on the internet with over 1 billion views and 684 total episodes. I brought YouTube millions of dollars, and we were so deep into these characters in this lie. The character of Psycho Kid that I played aspired to be a YouTuber.
He gets his games and stuff destroyed by his dad. A lot of people didn't know this was an ARG at first. They even had some police called on the family to check if everything was okay. Obviously, this is a fictional piece of work.
As a thank you for all my hard work over the years, YouTube has demonetized over 500 videos of mine.
That's just more evidence that it's so hard to judge a video on just the video. A few weeks ago, the whole internet judged the situation on Brother Nature based on one clip. Everyone thought that Brother Nature was being beaten up by two guys. In reality, when more of the clips were shown, more context was given, it was actually found out that Brother Nature was the instigator of the fight, and it made everyone look like fools. In order for the reviewer to grasp the full context of the video, they would have to be familiar with the channel. So Ian does this series where he occasionally roasts content on the internet called Content Cop.
He is criticizing YouTubers, going through their content, going through their videos, but also sprinkling in skits that have to do with the jokes that he's making, short films that may or may not even really be related to who he's making fun of. They're just there, but they're awesome. And all of this coalesces in these videos that are really, to me, unlike anything else that I had seen before on YouTube or anywhere else for that matter.
This critique is done in a comedic fashion. That's really apparent in the name of the series. Come on. He's a dedicated police officer looking for perpetrators who make bad videos. In the series, he also attempts to adopt some elements of who he's criticizing in his videos, and he portrays that in an over-exaggerated way. He's parodying amateur food reviews.
Hey, what's going on, party people? It's your boy IDubbbz, back again with another legit food review.
When he does a content cop on toy review channels, he does the same thing. So even though it seems like the series is an all-out chaotic roast, there is some method to the madness. So whenever you watch commentary channels, you also kind of have to know the commentary channel's intent. For example, when we look at someone like Cody Ko, yes, criticism is there, but his intent is mostly entertainment. We watch him goofing on this guy.
We got Liam in the back, we got Tyra right here, and we got Georgia in the back. There's 4 motherfuckers in this car.
It sounds like he just learned how to swear.
But also a few years later or months later, here he is collabing with a guy. He doesn't hate him, he's just goofing. When we watch someone like Philip DeFranco, on the other hand, we see that his intent is more critique, more change.
Obviously, everyone has different feelings. There's also different kinds of creators. So yeah, I'd love to know what you're thinking.
So now going back to Ian, what's his intent? His intent also, there is criticism, but it is more on the entertainment side. So Ian does have rules for himself, and he's accidentally broken some. He states that he wishes he could have changed his content cop on the Fine Brothers.
If I had to take any content comp video back, it would be the Fine Bros one. Because for me, I felt like I was very much jumping on the trend of like, get on these two Jews and make fun of their fucking faces and how much money they want and how greedy they are. And that's I mean, I parodied that mentality in my video. So I felt like I separated myself, but I didn't feel like it was super reflective of their content in general. So I was like, I take a pass on that.
Now that we know kind of his style, knowing that he takes elements from videos he criticizes, places them into his content cop, and makes skits out of them, and he over-exaggerates them to better critique them, we can apply that same logic to the content cop of Leafy. So what exactly did he take from Leafy's video and place into his. In this situation, getting the full context wouldn't be attained just by watching the video and knowing Ian's channel. The reviewer would also need to be familiar with the current atmosphere of the YouTube community. This was 2015 and 2016, where the community saw the rise of commentary, a genre where people often give criticism on another creator's work. There's some variation, of course, it can be positive, but mostly it lands on critique. YouTubers have always done that, but this time channels were dedicated to it. You had the likes of H3H3, Pyrocynical, and a lot more. With that rise comes a dark side. Criticism is okay, but where is the line between bullying and critique? Many believe that a commentary channel by the name of LeafyIsHere crossed the boundary of criticism and on to bullying.
He ruined rant, by the way. Making a rant used to be cool on YouTube, and then every fucking video he made was the
FuzzyTube rant number 5.
Yeah, I really like just the phrase rant, because it sort of exemplifies like a lot of what we all do on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's really sort of like why you guys use reaction. It's like your reaction for a video. Oftentimes I'll just get in front of the camera and just say a bunch of shit. Leading up to the Leafy video, I was like, I wanted to be smart about it. It was very much like the Keemstar thing. It's like a lot of people didn't realize, because everyone decided to jump on the bandwagon after the fact. But like leading up to it, I was very nervous because it was a big deal. He had many more subscribers than me.
It must have been scary, and no one had really taken like major shots at him since then.
He's making fun of kids. He's making fun of autistic people.
Some Leafy guard, Keemstar people are threatening me, and all I wanted to do was inspire. That's all.
Now that we know Ian's tone in his Content Cop series, we start to understand where the chin joke comes from. Since Leafy himself was known for these low blows,
we're gonna be watching one of the most positive YouTubers on YouTube. Her eggs made me feel like Batman.
Subscribe, support, stay positive. You know?
I'm sorry. Fat guy with a fedora eating a box of pizza. A box of pizza.
Ian turned that against him. I think it was really cool that the community actually set guidelines for themselves and they didn't let things get too far, but there still is more growing to do. That was made perfectly clear in the James Charles versus Tati situation. Tati releases this whole expose video on James Charles, and as you know, after that video, James Charles lost like 3 million subscribers. It set a world record. But a few days later, James Charles came out with a video and debunked almost every single point. And then he started gaining subscribers back. It made everyone on the internet look like fools, so commentary and criticism is still not perfect yet. And I think a really good audiobook that dives deep into these challenges is So You've Been Publicly Shamed by Jon Ronson. The author goes through something similar, and it makes him rethink his position on online public shaming. He interviews public shamers and the people who have been victims of public shaming. If this audiobook doesn't sound like something you're interested in, Audible has a wide selection of audiobooks you can listen to. Just go to audible.com/psychirl or text psychirl to 500 to get your free trial. I don't say this about a lot of videos, but Ian's Content Cop on Leafy was a pivotal part of the evolution of commentary, which shouldn't be removed. What was once a genre that didn't seem to have any rules made some for itself. What I really liked about this era was that the community actually policed itself. YouTube didn't have to step in and act like a parent.
Meeting the Fine Bros was a lovely experience. And the reason before I said it was humbling, and it really was, it was like, I felt very uncomfortable because I had made this video about him and I was like, I'm deserving. It's one of the reasons that I kind of dislike some of the commentary channels out there is when they go in really hard, I'm like, you need to interact with these people that you make fun of in real life just to be reminded of what you're actually doing. This is real life. He felt this. The internet wall is no longer there. I'm 5 feet away from him. It becomes real.
So the question now is, how do we combat online harassment? Does there really need to be changes to these rules or not? Looking at these new policy terms, I do like the comment policy, you know, because it's up to the hands of the creator. If the creator wants to allow more comments, they could always do that. A theory that Nerd City had was that the people reviewing these appeals were people from other countries that had different values than the creators they were reviewing. So that is why some things are demonetized and it doesn't make sense. So a solution to that is more training. Context takes more than just watching one video. It takes more than just watching the video and knowing the channel. It takes a whole multitude of things. And really, I don't think this video should be removed. Age restricted, I could see that, but removed, I think that's a little too much. This is one of the most important videos in the history of YouTube, and I don't say that about a lot of videos. What do you think are solutions for this? That's the end of the video. I will see you guys next time. Stay psyched.